7'3", and we're underway here at Poly Pavilion.
And here is Jahmir Young, who is their leading scorer at 18 points per game. Coming out on the screen. And now Young going to attack and gets the layup. That was a problem for UCLA the other night. Their loss to Cal State Northridge. They gave up 17 layups in that game.
And here comes the full court press for the Terrapins. I can't figure it out. It's at the end of the beginning. We know we'll be there soon. I don't understand why Mara is guarding a 6'1" guy a foot at the 3-point line.
Basket by Adembona. I wasn't sure what you were talking about considering UCLA was on offense, but you were referring to the last possession. You just were late to get to it. Okay.
I can't talk about the next play until the next play happens.
Shot clock at 10. Resetting the screen for freshman Deshaun Harris-Smith.
And beautiful penetration and dish.
Geronimo misses the three. It's been a struggle for Maryland there near the bottom of all shooting statistics in the country, and just 27% from three as a team.
Geronimo, that's my kind of guy.
Andrews finds Bona cutting low. Getting the basket is down 4 for UCLA.
Much better start for the Bruins in their game against Northridge, where they lost. They were down 19 in that game. They lost to Ohio State as well. Couldn't score a lick in the early going.
Dante Scott.
DHS here has got to get something going.
Harris-Smith fought to shoot, gives up to Young. His three is good.
This is an offensive explosion. It's like a volcano has erupted somewhere. For UCLA, push the ball. If somebody's going to press you, don't take time off the clock yourself. Maryland's press is not really designed to get a lot of steals, but they just want to slow the Bruins down. The Bruins are cooperating.
22 threes now on the year for Jahmir Young. Here's Andrews looking to answer, can't. And it's Maryland ball.
Traveling and shuffling the feet is still a violation, isn't it?
It is still very good. Good to see you've been reading the rule book going into the year as always. Harris-Smith for three, no good, and rebound by Mata.
I never understood the point of emphasis concept that you love to bring up all the time. Where have you been, by the way, anyway?
What do you mean? That I bring up, and the point of emphasis that the officials bring up. There's
a rule book. And why is one rule more important than another? Please,
well, sometimes
enforce the rules.
Sometimes points of emphasis aren't rule changes. They're just emphasizing certain parts of the game that really have nothing to do with specific rules that are in question.
Is that sort of like where somebody has to win the game?
But 5-second violation.
Great refereeing crew tonight. We've got Eric, we've got Randy. And who's the gentleman on the far side?
That's Paul, who's the crew chief, yes. Paul Self.
Related to Bill?
No, Self, not Self, no F.
Sell? Like sell me something now? Great defense.
And Young is fouled. The first on UCLA. Gonna go on Andrews.
Beautiful day in Los Angeles today. Some rain showers washing everything down and out. Cool temperatures in the Southland. And with this massive crowd assembling here on the eve of the holidays, the celebration is already underway.
Young with a jab step, now a three. He's knocked down 2 of them.
And then turns right to the front row. Please, we're 3.5 minutes into the game.
And there's no one sitting in the front row.
Oh, my goodness.
Late arriving crowd here for a 6 o'clock local tip in Westwood.
No shortage of people in this part of the country.
Entry plays not the win.
Geronimo! Geronimo! Doing it all.
Transfer from Indiana, spent the last 3 years there. And checking into the game for UCLA is Berke Bayuktunji. I'm going to make you say that 10 times very fast.
Bear K.
He's missed the last 3 games due to injury, so it's good to have him back.
Well, he's a tremendous player.
UCLA.
Very young, just 19 years of age. Got to make sure to take care of those feet. Want to make sure you keep them.
Already had 1 5-second violation. That was dangerously close to another one.
That just means you're not ready to go. Well,
Foul here, Maryland, no goaltend. That was not going to be anywhere near the rim.
why do players do that? You jump up and after the whistle's blown.
You tell me. You played for 15 years. Why do players do it?
I played for more than that. But I don't know. I don't know why. I don't understand it. We're still having trouble getting on it. Incredible play by Dembona. The ball fake. What could be better? Creative offense. Something that both teams need to work on a lot.
Swanson Roger picks up the foul, his first, third on Maryland. And so Dembona at the line.
I was here opening night. Dembona looked like the second coming of Sidney Wicks and just destroyed St. Francis. And the Bruins look magnificent. They have struggled since, although they have beaten powerhouses like Lafayette, Long Island University, and they did get the big victory in Hawaii against Chaminade. That's 2 straight trips to Hawaii and 2 victories against Chaminade and not much else.
I heard you had a good time in Hawaii.
I had a great time in Hawaii. I miss Maui, and we feel so bad about what's happened over there with the people and the countryside. And boy, the swimming in the ocean, and the rainbows, and the waterfalls, and the waves. It was just fabulous. Currents, pulling, dragging. But now we're here, Holly Balloon, trying to find our way to Terrapin Station.
4 minutes gone by, Maryland by 3. Knocked away by Sebastian Mack, out of bounds. It's going to stay with Maryland with 11 on the shot clock. 8-5, Maryland with the early lead over UCLA. Maryland's won 3 in a row. UCLA has lost 3 straight as they bring out the little chairs for the players to get set up.
Now, this is another thing I can't understand. You have all the winners of the genetic lottery, big, huge, strong guys. You had Kyle Tarp out here on the court before the game, who's the strength and conditioning coach for the Terrapins, and he's getting everybody all fired up. And then we go and have them sit on these little tiny stools, and the coaches get bigger chairs than the players do. Goodness gracious.
That is Kevin Willard, year 2 for him at Maryland.
What a career he's had. A terrific player. Played for his dad, Ralph, who was an excellent coach. Won 324 games in the course of his legendary career. And it was during that career that Ralph, the dad, connected with Rick Pitino. And Rick Pitino, then coaching the Knicks after he came from Providence, he brought Ralph onto his staff, but then ever since, the Willard family has been very close to Pitino. These 2 guys, Kevin Willard and Mick Cronin, their lives, their careers, they go all the way back to the beginning of all time.
Just over 4 minutes gone by here at Pauley Pavilion, where UCLA's 29-game home win streak was snapped by Cal State Northridge on Tuesday. The Bruins have lost 3 in a row. It's been a struggle this year for Nick Cronin's young team. They're one of the youngest teams in the country. Very important game here, Bill, against the Maryland team that's starting to get its stride after making the tournament last year, struggling though out of the game.
We got it all right here. We got Terrapins, we got Bears, we got terrific players, we got Mathematics Day, we got World Basketball Day, we got the Winter Solstice, and now we've got Jahmir Young, who has been on fire early on. This guy, a little left-handed player from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, started at the Napa High School, then he goes to UNC Charlotte. Thank you, Cedric Maxwell. But he has just been letting it go. And whoever has tried to guard him, they've had no success whatsoever. I would not switch a big guy on to Jahmir Young. He's too talented, too good. He's got 8 early points.
He's the only one that scored for Maryland.
Well, that's, like I said, math day. You've made that. You've got it all. I've missed you.
That Syracuse degree coming into play big time again.
You admit it.
And a turnover. Good defense that time by UCLA.
That was not quite the way Kevin Willard imagined the play.
Really? That kind of analysis that we need on this show. Kevin Willard in his second year, Mick Cronin in his fifth at UCLA, and they're best friends. They go back to coaching under Rick Pitino in Louisville in the early 2000s. Here's McClendon in the lane.
Oh, wild shot.
Loose ball, and then Bona scoops it up. Even a wilder shot. And then Bayutunjel is back after missing the last 3 games with an ankle injury. Commits an offensive foul on the screen.
Berkay is fine, please. I've asked him. And he's a fine young man. He's from Bursa, Turkey, which is the 4th largest city in Turkey, that wonderful country over there. And been playing basketball as a professional at the club level in Turkey, which is the way things go on the international level. But this Bruin team is full of international players, including a new coach, Yogi. He went up to Toronto at the big leagues, NBA. Beautiful defensive rotation, Berkay.
And Andrews gets the steal. Here's Sebastian Mack, who had a season-high 27 points in his last game. Traveling violation, got the defender off his feet, but then shuffled his own and turned it over.
Must be a point of emphasis. Mick Cronin, 5th year here with the Bruins. His dad was a legendary coach as well in a different sport, baseball. He was an assistant under Bobby Huggins. Everything warm and fuzzy there. Rick Pitino, Louisville, and Murray State. One of the dynamic coaches, young guy. He was the #1 leading young coach under 50 for many years, but now he's moved up. He's 52 years old now.
Can you think of what Mick Cronin did his first year here at UCLA?
Oh, yes, Dante Scott.
For Dante Scott, but early on it was a struggle for that team. They got better as the year went on, and then that nucleus made it to the Final Four the next year. So they're hoping to get the same result with this young group, hoping to get better as the season goes along.
But that nucleus was built around some of the legendary Bruin players of all time.
But you didn't know it at the time that Jaime Jaquez was going to be as good as he was, right?
I think you called him a lottery player for the Miami Heat 6 years ago.
Along with Markelle Fultz as the #1 pick, if I recall.
You called it all. I'm waiting for you to make the predictions about Adai Mara.
Here's Long, always best to hold it over. Blocking foul on the pass. And that's 2 on Berkay.
Always best to wait to see somebody play. The rotating defense for the Bruins has just been not good enough. Underneath the basket, and as Berkay just barrels in there, very physical player. So going back to he's been playing against men for many, many years. So that's the way it is at the international level. Roger Stefanov is the same way. Dante Scott down low, can't get it off against a little guard, please.
So you don't see any similarities at all, is what you're saying, to that first group that a lot of those guys had been playing college basketball, but it was under a different regime. This group, most of them haven't. That's the big difference, but they do have some talent. It's just a matter of getting experience. We'll see if a game like this helps.
What would you rather have, talent or experience?
Do I have to pick one of the others? Stefanovic missing, rebound Maryland.
You work for ESPN. Please.
Young putting it on the floor. The floater's no good.
Great job by Brandon Williams.
Williams started last game. UCLA, meanwhile, has missed 5 straight shots. 5 points in almost 7 minutes. That one goes in. And Sebastian Mack with a 3-point opportunity. He's their leading scorer at 15 points per game.
Sebastian Mack from Chicago originally. Then he goes to Las Vegas as a high school player. Plays 4 full years there. His dad was a legendary player, Sam Mack. 20-year pro career, NBA, international. And Sam Mack has passed it down to Sebastian Mack to get to the hoop, get to the free throw line, and fill it up. One of the challenges for this Bruin team is that the guards, as dynamic and as good as they are, Dylan Andrews and Sebastian Mack, they're scorers. And they have not been able to figure out a way to get the front court involved.
Miss a guy like Tiger Campbell, who is so good at that. Again, a lot of experience and talent as a distributor and a guy to run your offense.
Now, why isn't Dembona pressuring the ball out so far from the hoop?
I have to imagine the coach is riding to a foul call here at UCLA. That's the 14th foul.